Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Rittenhouse is facing backlash for making mockery out of the one survivor that he shot in Kenosha. And he went online to a BLM protest. So let's get into it. So someone said, "You have no idea how to act like an adult." Kyle Rittenhouse slammed for roasting man he shot during BLM online protest. So, Kyle Rittenhouse visited Kent State University this week. And of course, he was met with mass protest and counter programming organized by students who opposed his speaking event. In the last 2 months, Rittenhouse had made appearances at 3 college campuses to speak to students about the Second Amendment and Black Lives Matter movement. He visited the University of Memphis and Western Kentucky University in March before making his third stop at Kent State University this week. In the weeks leading up to the 21-year-old visit to Kent State, 2 petitions were launched, causing cancellation. They wanted to cause the event to be canceled and withdrew thousands of signatures. Campus members also posted their criticism online, scolding university officials for even allowing him to move forward. Everybody loves posting those pictures of him crying on the stand. And even they got one in this article too. They love those pictures, actually, so do I. After student protesters derailed Rittenhouse's speech at the University of Memphis last month, Kent State, Turning Point USA chapter members crafted an admissions policy for his April event and warned students they would pursue repercussions against anyone obstructing their guest remarks per university policy. Oh, you got to put policies in place for Kyle Rittenhouse. Oh, please. Members of Kent State Black Student Union reserved tickets and conducted a silent protest in which they made no effort to show they were engaged in the event. The event drew close to 200 protesters who surrounded the student center where Rittenhouse spoke on Wednesday. So, Turning Point USA were threatening audience members. Well, during the protest, they were yelling out murderer, no murderer, while he was trying to talk. So, anyway, Rittenhouse's name became nationally known after he was acquitted for shooting 3 people during a Black Lives Matter protest in Kenosha, Wisconsin in 2020. 2 of the men died. The man who survived was invited by several student organizations to speak to students on the same day as Rittenhouse event. Oh, in his remarks, um, he changed his name to Paul Prediker. I think that's his Prediker, formerly known as Gage Gross Cruz, said that Rittenhouse has used every moment to gloat and make light of taking a life, and that he's embraced those who peddle a hateful rhetoric. Well, I think that's kind of smart. They invite Rittenhouse. Now they're inviting the victim that he shot to counteract him. So, what am I here for? And, the students at Kent who have had enough, they had enough of Kyle and his rhetoric. Enough of the celebration of loss of human life. Enough of the flog logic. And that's because the 17-year-old who shot me and killed two others, this is what his victim said, with a legally obtained firearm is now somehow qualified to be a champion of gun rights. Enough of the sad fragility that's proclaiming and accepting Black Lives Matter because they do somehow devalue or threaten white lives. Enough with the lies and the deceit that has been told by Kyle Rittenhouse for over 3 years about what actually happened in Kenosha, August 25th, 2020. In Rittenhouse remarks, he advocated for campus carry laws in Ohio to allow people to conceal carry weapons on college campuses. Ohio law currently bans the concealed carry of guns on campuses and in university buildings. However, people can openly carry weapons in public areas. I know there are some people in the crowd who don't like me, but that's fine. We have the right to peacefully protest, Kyle Rittenhouse said. I think young women, young men have the right to protect themselves, have the right to own firearms, and it's a constitutional infringement for them to say you can't carry a gun on campus. Many students condemn Rittenhouse visit to Kent State, so close to the anniversary of the deadly campus shooting of May 4th, 1970, when four student protesters were shot and killed by Ohio National Guard. Yeah, I remember learning about that in school. Rittenhouse responded on April 16th, and he pretty much mocked the one survivor that he shot. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, so, he has no remorse. He's not sorry, and he's showing and expressing it. So the victim goes on to say, "You're a murderer and a little boy who continues to be coached since you have no idea how to act like an adult." One ex user responded, prompting Rittenhouse to reply with a short clip sitting in the chair that falls underneath him during a virtual court hearing. So he think it's funny that this one survivor is talking about him, so Kyle is trying to mock him. Unbelievable, but hey, they're letting him get away with it. Nobody's correcting him. They'll just say freedom of speech. And, sometimes, even if you got freedom of speech, you should still use some common sense. You know, One thing you can see about Kyle don't know how to be humble at all. He don't. And I can see him getting in trouble sometime in the future. I don't think you're going to have to wait a long time for him to get in trouble with the law again. And when he does, we'll see how easy it will be for him to wiggle out of it again. Y'all remember George Zimmerman, right? Every time you turned around, he was in some incident and had to deal with the police. These kind of guys, that's all they do. They stay in trouble. But unfortunately, there's always someone that's going to get them out of the whole thing. That's privilege for you. So, y'all, tell me what you think about this article. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.